Nonpartisanship. What can Toyota in 1945 teach us about nonpartisanship as leaders, as bosses in business, to help us be better bosses in business? That's what we're going to talk about today on Boss Beat, a latte of leadership for those seeking to be and build better bosses in business. I'm Ben Lichtenwallner, and yes, I do like my bees. Post-World War Japan. Imagine it. 1940s, late 1940s. Japan had been absolutely decimated. About 40% of the nation's industrial plants and infrastructure were destroyed. Production had reverted to levels that hadn't been seen in over 15 years or so. The country had a massive lack of resources. With that as a backdrop, Toyota faced bankruptcy, and they chose to send a group of engineers to see Ford's massive River Rouge plant and how they were producing automobiles at the time. Now, included in that trip was Mr. Taichii Ohno. Ohno was incredibly impressed by Ford's scale and production lines. However, the dependence that Ford had upon huge resources and what he saw as a great deal of waste were problematic. There's no way that Ohno could see that system succeeding in Japan given their post-World War II extremely limited resources. However, while in the U.S., Ohno visited supermarkets, and he was impressed by them. He observed them closely. He noticed that the process included customers pulling only what they needed from the shelves. Then quickly, stock boys would replace those items that had been needed. That became the origin of what would become known as the Toyota production system. The Toyota production system birthed the concepts of push versus pull. Until this point in time, manufacturers were mass producing and pushing products to consumers pretty much regardless of demand. The Toyota production system, on the other hand, introduced the concept of pull-based systems, or just-in-time systems. This process of only delivering exactly what was needed or requested evolved into lean manufacturing, lean IT, just-in-time production, and many other management, production, and design styles that are still studied today in business schools and practiced and applied and evolved in organizations across the world. Mr. Ohno was nonpartisan. He looked for ideas, support, and innovation from unexpected sources. Were it not for Mr. Ohno's nonpartisanship, production systems today may not be nearly as efficient as they are. Taichii Ohno's inspiration and creation of the Toyota production system is a great example of nonpartisanship. What are some other ways that you and I, can look at nonpartisanship? First, there's a couple of attributes to consider beneath the principle of nonpartisanship. Sharing power and control. Ohno's example was of unusual origins. He was nonpartisan in the origins where he got the idea. Nonpartisan in politics often means crossing the aisle. In business, as a leader, what can you learn from competitors, peers, or someone that you might not normally consider studying? Second is listening. Now, we spoke about listening the past couple of weeks when we talked about nonpartisanship, so if you're interested in learning more about that, go back and check out those. But as a reminder, there's 3 levels of listening. Listening to respond, which means you're formulating the ideas in your head. Second is listening to understand, which is often referred to as active listening. It involves repeating back what you heard in your own words to make sure that you fully understood the person. But what we should strive for, what you, as a great leader, as a better boss in your business, should be striving for, is listening to feel. That means listening to understand and repeating back what you heard, but also sharing, I think I'm hearing that you're frustrated, or I think I'm hearing that you see opportunity and you're excited about that potential. Getting to the feelings and making sure you understand where the person's coming from. Now, as we go forward, what's a great quote to look at? I'm a big fan of the writings of Marcus Aurelius. He wrote one of the great quotes that I like to reference. For we are born for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids, like the row of upper and lower teeth. To act against one another, then, is contrary to nature. In a world that is so divided right now, gang, the greatest leaders will come of those who pull us together. You have that potential in your organizations. Yeah, I know you hear me talking about the grand scale and the politics in our countries and all the division that's out there. But let's be real. Within your own little neck of the woods, within your own business, maybe it's a giant organization, where you are called to lead right now, there is divisiveness. Nonpartisanship is calling you to be the bridge builder, to be the one who says, hey, I know we've got different perspectives. Let's pull together where we do agree we should proceed and get going down that path. Maybe we'll reach achievement on the other areas later. The greatest among you as leaders will be the ones who are able to successfully be nonpartisan and pull each other together. So, what are some questions that you can ask yourself to build better boss behaviors in yourself and your team? What is your supermarket? What industry, competitor, or other unexpected resources of ideas have you not considered? Every day here at Boss Beat, we cover one of the 7 principles of great leadership. They are building on your screen: selflessness, empathy, resolve, virtuousness, authenticity, nonpartisanship, and thoroughness. Why? Because we leverage the acronym model of servant leadership, because you don't want to just take my word for it. There are lots of great leadership books out there based on one person's perspective. These principles are based on over 2 decades of studying the greatest leadership experts and practitioners, so that you walk away knowing that what you are doing as a better boss in your business and building better bosses in your business is proven time and time again. I'm Ben Lichtenwalder. If you enjoyed this material, if you enjoy this sort of practical and actionable advice and insights for you to be and build better bosses, please check out modernservantleader.com. There you'll find lots and lots of free content, as well as some other courses that I teach. Thank you for your time today, gang. Until next time, remember, keep serving.